Welcome to the McCoy Tennis Complex on the campus of Brevard College in Brevard, North Carolina. Glad you're able to join us today. Men's and women's tennis, Brevard versus Johnson. You're looking live at the McCoy Tennis Complex on the campus of Brevard College in Brevard, North Carolina. Happy you can join us this afternoon. Brevard versus Johnson University. Johnson University made the trip from Knoxville, Tennessee for this non-conference matchup this afternoon, and looking forward to a great afternoon of tennis and giving you all a look in on the action. Doubles play will be getting going momentarily here. On the near court, court number 2, closest to our camera location, will be Tyler Frazee and Nathan Boppel, the number 2 doubles team for the Tornadoes. Just beyond number 2 doubles of Frazee and Boppel, court number 1, Tom Mitching and Tim Hanks, the 2 Tornado seniors from Germany, will be playing number 1 doubles. And then beyond that is court number 3, where Alex Glaze and Andrew Ingram, who make up the number 3 doubles teams for the Tornadoes, will be competing. So just now getting underway. We'll try to bring you as much information as we can. The women's doubles is underway as well, as that first point goes the way of the Royals. Boppel and Frazee, number 2 team for the Tornadoes. So Boppel serving, love 15. Frazee with some nice work at the net there. Point Tornadoes. Frazee, by the way, back-to-back USA South Men's Tennis Rookie of the Week honors. Also this past week, Tom Mitching won USA South Player of the Week. So some individual honors this past week for the Tornadoes. And now in this opening game, 15-15 with Nathan Boppel serving. Frazee again with a winner at the net, 30-15 Tornadoes. Second service for Boppel, up 30-15. It was a let, so second serve once again. Just getting started here at the McCoy Tennis Center. It's on this near court, Tyler Frazee and Nathan Boppel, the number 2 doubles teams for the Tornadoes. Now 30 all, the serve from Boppel. (40-15), so game point in this opening game for the Tornadoes. And winner there by Frazee. Opening game goes to the Tornadoes. 1-0 Tornadoes, number 2 doubles. Meanwhile, just beyond the number 2 doubles is number 1 doubles. You see Tom Mitching and Tim Hanks in action for the Tornadoes. And back here at number 2 doubles, the Royals with the service. As men's action as well as women's action on other courts throughout this McCoy Tennis Complex underway. Men's doubles, number 2 on the near court here for Brevard, Tyler Frazee and Nathan Boppel versus Carson Byington and Malachi Carr.
Let's go, Royals!
Number 1 doubles on the court just beyond us here, as you see service there by the Tornadoes. Tom Mitching and Tim Hanks versus Michael Rodenbaugh and Stephen Damon. And then number 3 doubles on the men's side, Alex Glaze and Andrew Ingram versus Cable Weaver and Dalton Saver. Check that Dalton Sauer. So just getting started here at the McCoy Tennis Complex. We'll update you shortly on the pairings on the women's side as well. Glad you're able to join us here on the campus of Brevard College. Johnson versus Brevard, men's and women's tennis. As you continue to see on the near court here, number 2 doubles, 1-1 all tied up in games. Great get there by the Royal. Carson Byington with a tremendous get, but point goes to the Tornadoes. Service from Tyler Frazee. It's an ace. And point and game goes to the Tornadoes. Go ahead 2-1 in number 2 doubles. Meanwhile, women's doubles is underway as well. Here's your pairings for women's doubles. In number 1 doubles, Brevard's team of Samantha Seppi and Darden King are facing off against Hannah Ham and Annalise McDonald. In number 2 doubles, Jen Cox and Margaret Carell representing the Tornadoes against Maddie Buchanan and Danielle Keener. And then number 3 doubles, Kenzie Bowman and Eleanor Flannery, they're facing off against Emily Allen and Olive Anderson of Johnson. As Bopple and Frazee now lead 2-1 here in number 2 doubles. Just getting underway here at the McCoy Tennis Complex. Glad you're able to join us. With the Bompel service, Tornadoes go up 4-1 in number 2 doubles. So a great start for the Tornadoes in number 2 doubles. As now bringing the action from number 1 doubles, Mitching and Hanks. Doubles team switch sides here for this next game. Tornadoes with a 4-1 lead here in number 2 doubles. We'll be bringing you some interviews throughout the day. Hopefully we'll get to talk to some of the Tornado student athletes after doubles play is complete and before they embark in their singles competition. Carson Byington with the service for Johnson. As Boppel will return this serve from Byington. Second service opportunity here for Byington. And it's an ace on the second serve by Carson Byington of Johnson. Meanwhile, some score updates for you. In number 1 doubles, the team of Tom Mitching and Tim Hanks with a 5-0 lead in number 1 doubles. And in number 3 doubles on the far court, the team of Alex Glaze and Andrew Ingram with a 2-1 lead. We'll try to bring you some women's score updates as well momentarily. Thanks for joining us. Brevard versus Johnson, men's and women's tennis. Meanwhile, some score updates on the women's side. Tornadoes leading in all three doubles competitions. In number one doubles, the team of Samantha Seppi and Darden King with a 5-0 lead. In number two women's doubles, the team of Jen Cox and Margaret Carell of the Tornadoes leading 3-0. And in number three doubles, the team of Kenzie Bowman and Eleanor Flannery with a 2-1 advantage. Tyler Frazee, the back-to-back winner of USA South Rookie of the Week. He's in the pink hat, serving for the Tornadoes, and then with a winner there on that approach shot at the net. Nice work there by Tyler. Number one doubles, Tom Mitching and Tim Hanks. The two seniors from Germany, well in control of their match. Close one going on in number three doubles, Alex Glaze and Andrew Ingram. As we continue to bring you doubles action, Johnson University made the trip from Knoxville, Tennessee earlier today for this 1:30 start. Pleasant conditions here at Brevard College. The wind picks up at times, which may be a factor for these players. But at the moment, at least, a light wind, mild temperatures, some cloud cover, but at least as of now, no threat of rain here in the western North Carolina mountains. So now your score here in number two doubles, Boppel and Frazee with a 5-2 lead. So as number two doubles continues here, Tornadoes up 5-2. That shot by the Royals long, so point Tornadoes. Meanwhile, on court number one, the court just beyond our broadcast location, Tom Mitching and Tim Hanks looking to put away this doubles match. They're up 7-0 in number one doubles. Winner there from Frazee in number two doubles. So Mitching and Hanks trying to break the serve of the Royals on this final game to put away number 1 doubles, and hopefully we'll get to talk to Tom and Tim in between doubles and singles. Tornadoes under the direction of head coach Evan Schreiner. As the game continues between Hanks and Mitching, who are up 7-0. Meanwhile, here on the near court, Boppel with the serve, number 2 doubles. Return from Hanks in number 1 doubles, and then a winner from Hanks as they inch closer to a win in number 1 doubles. Meanwhile, serve from Boppel here at number 2 doubles. Now a second service from Boppel.
Let's go, Royals.
Last we heard, Samantha Seppi and Darden King with a 5-0 lead in number 1 doubles. On the women's side, Jen Cox and Margaret Correll up 3-0 in number 2 doubles. And Kenzie Bowman and Eleanor Flannery up 2-1 in number 3 women's doubles. We'll try to get you some updates on those scores as well. Meanwhile, Hanks and Mitching still trying to break the serve one last time here of the Royals. Michael Rodenbaugh and Stephen Damon, the number 1 doubles team for Johnson. And that'll do it. Mitching and Hanks with an 8-0 win in number 1 doubles. So great start for the Tornadoes in this team competition as the 2 seniors get it done again. An 8-0 win in number 1 doubles. So Tornadoes for the match on the men's side go ahead 1-0. Some score updates from the women's side. Number 1 doubles Last we saw Samantha Seppi and Darden King with a 7-0 advantage. They may have won that match. Trying to get a final score for you from number 1 doubles. Number 2 doubles, Jen Cox and Margaret Correll in a battle against Maddie Buchanan and Danielle Keener. Cox and Correll of the Tornadoes with a 4-3 advantage in number 2 doubles. And in number 3 doubles, a close match as Kenzie Bowman and Eleanor Flannery currently lead 3-2 over the team of Allen and Anderson for the Royals. Meanwhile, the match you're watching now on this near court, number 2 doubles, Tyler Frazee and Nathan Boppel, just 1 game away from winning this match, up 7-2 here in number 2 doubles, returning the service of the Royals. See if they can break the Royals and put away number 2 doubles. Tornadoes men already ahead 1-0 in match, with a win by Mitching and Hanks in number 1 doubles. 8-0 by Mitching and Hanks. All here, with the Tornadoes ahead 7-2, number 2 doubles. Looks like indeed a win for women's number 1 doubles. Seppi and King continue their stellar play in number 1 doubles, and the Tornadoes with a 1-0 lead in both men's and women's tennis over Johnson. Mitching and Hanks over the weekend in Charlotte defeated Johnson C. Smith 6-2 as the number 2 doubles match has come to its conclusion. Another win for the Tornadoes. 8-2 as the team of Tyler Frazee and Nathan Boppel defeat Carson Byington and Malachi Carter 8-2 in number 2 doubles. So the Tornadoes with a 2-0 lead on the men's side. 8-0 win in number 1 doubles and a 8-2 win in number 2 doubles. So we'll turn our attention now to the far court number 3 doubles, Alex Glaze and Andrew Ingram. So Tornadoes with a 2-0 lead in doubles action. 8-0 win in number 1 doubles, 8-2 win in number 2 doubles, and now number 3 doubles. A 5-2 advantage for the Brevard doubles team of Alex Glaze and Andrew Ingram. They're taking on Cable Weaver and Dalton Sauer of the Royals. And we'll look to get you some women's updates as well. All right, joined now by the victorious number 2 doubles team, Tyler Frazee and Nathan Boppel. 8-2 win, guys. To get started, we brought our audience a lot of your action. You guys playing here on the near court. How'd the match go for each of you today?
It felt really nice. It was nice to come and get a win, especially after our loss at Johnson C. Smith on Sunday. So it was really nice to come back with a different mindset and sweep the field. It was fun.
Tyler, similar feelings?
Yeah, very similar feelings, and I had that score in mind, 4-1. Last week we were up 4-1, and we just needed to keep on pushing this time so we didn't fall back in this match, and we kept on grinding and pulled out a pretty good win.
And for that final game, you guys broke their serve, to win 8-2, correct?
Yeah.
Is that something that's even tougher to do, when you're returning the service, but you're trying to put away a match like that?
I'd say yeah, but it also if the opponent is distracted and they're coming down and they're sitting at their last serve, and if they make it, the point goes on. If they miss it, it's match over. That can get really heady to hit that shot. So I can understand why it'd be difficult.
Right, where the pressure's on actually the team with the service at that point.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Now, Tyler, congratulations. Second week in a row. You win the USA South Rookie of the Week award. You had a similar answer, I would imagine, last week when I brought it up, but feels good to win the award again, and feel like you're really hitting your stride these last couple weeks.
Yeah, I've been playing pretty well. I've been trying to get back into my rhythm from leaving Saddlebrook and being up here in fall, I kind of lost my game a little bit, but starting to gain it back and starting to play very well. And, of course, the pink hat always helps. It's the lucky hat. Ever since I wore this, I haven't lost a match yet, so I'm going to keep on wearing it and see what happens.
Now, have you been a superstitious player throughout your career, or is this something new with the pink hat?
No, with the pink hat, it's new, but I always have my rituals that I do, bouncing the ball and certain things. If I don't do it, sometimes I'll lose the point. And, like, winning the toss, usually when I win the toss in singles, I have a tough match. If I lose the toss, it usually is a good match. And the only other superstition I have is on Friday's practice. If I don't play good on Friday, I play better on the matches. If I play good on Friday, I play bad in the Saturday matches.
I love it. Now, Nathan, any similar rituals or superstitions for yourself, or just get out there and play?
Get out there and play. There's nothing superstitious about me.
Yeah, it's always interesting how different players have different approaches and different nuances. Nathan, we saw you last night on Tornado Talk. We were previewing the regional championships that's coming up for the climbing team. If folks don't know, you are a dual sport athlete here at Brevard College, where you're also a member of the climbing team. And you mentioned last night that a key to getting ready for that regional championship this weekend is going to be rest. Resting your body. Is this kind of your last athletic go at it today until you get into that mode of preparing for Saturday?
For sure. This is definitely going to be my last hard, strenuous activity before the weekend hits. Tomorrow I'll have a rock climbing class that I'll most likely have a small hike into a rock to practice some hard skills. So I'm hoping that's not too strenuous and doesn't make my legs sore for the weekend.
And in terms of hydration and diet, can you kind of give folks a little look behind the curtain what that might look like, as you juggle, your time on the tennis team as well as preparing for the regional championships in climbing?
Well, I definitely drink a lot of water, and there's zero soda that enters my body at all. Especially in a time like this where our most important competition of the year is coming up this Saturday. It's very crucial to drink extra water this week. And diet, definitely stay away from, fried foods and try to hit the salad bar a little more often this week, especially that.
Now, Tyler, with Nathan as your doubles partner, has he turned you on to any of this climbing activity, whether over at the Brevard Rock Gym or maybe out here in Pisgah National Forest?
I have not really. The only thing I've really done that was more on Nathan's side is mountain biking, and that was very extremely hard. And I give them a lot of props to the mountain bike team, and they have an insane cardio workout every single time you're going up, and the adrenaline rush going down is nothing like tennis at all. So I do give them that, and with the scenery up here, I give Nathan the Willie Major, and it is cool.
He's actually going to come to free climb night tonight, so you look for him.
Oh,
there.
yeah? Would pink hat and all? Yeah.
Yep. Pink hat and all.
Well, guys, you got to, we've got the rest of today to go. Singles competition coming up next. Tyler, you're going to be playing number 3 singles. Nathan, number 4 singles. You guys feel good heading into singles competition? Everything seems to be working right?
Yeah, I feel really good. I actually got the pleasure of playing against my opponent in doubles, so I've got a feel for his game and pretty confident going into this.
Yeah, that's right. Malachi Carr will be your opponent in number 4 singles, and Tyler Frazee, you'll be facing off against Stephen Damon. Damon played number 1 doubles against Tom and Tim.
Okay.
Would like to end with this. Tom Mitching and Tim Hanks, the 2 seniors from Germany on the team. Can you guys each comment just how important they are to your team overall? Obviously, the results in a lot of ways speak for themselves, but from a leadership standpoint and just being great examples for everybody.
Yes, as you mentioned, they're definitely the top of the team. They play really strong, and it's definitely cool to look up to and watch them play and learn from them. And when they give you tidbits of advice, it's very nice to just keep that in the back of your mind, just to bounce around while you're playing and help you continue to play strong.
Same for me too. And plus they're amazing people, and they're very fun to hang out with and practice with and everything. And just they're seniors, and you look up to them, and they're kind of like your, almost in a sense, your bigger brother on the court, and they have more wiser skills in certain matches and key points in matches and stuff that can always help, like Coach has.
Well said, guys. Well, congratulations on the doubles victory, 8-2 in number 2 doubles. Congratulations, Tyler, to you. Back-to-back USA South Rookie of the Week
Thank you.
honors. Hopefully those will continue to roll in as your success continues. Nate, congrats on the doubles win with your teammate Tyler, and good luck this weekend at the regional championships for climbing, a USA climbing event. Big stakes for you guys. I know you guys have been working hard at that, and we'll be excited to see exactly how that all turns out this weekend in Nashville. Good luck in singles play, guys, and thanks for joining the broadcast.
Thank you
Thank
very
you.
much.
All right, thanks. All right, that was Tyler Frazee and Nate Boppel, victorious number 2 doubles team for the Tornadoes, 8-2 win, and then they'll get started in singles play before we know it. Great to talk to those two. Frazee, as we mentioned, back-to-back USA South Rookie of the Week honors. Boppel, dual sport athlete who is now, after today at least, after he gets through the singles match, will be focused on the USA Climbing Appalachian Region Championships, which takes place on Saturday in Nashville, a climbing competition. So fascinating dual sport career for Boppel, and Frazee continuing his success as well. We'll try to get you some more score updates and some more interviews. Thanks for joining us here at Brevard College. So some score updates for you. The lone men's doubles match that is still happening on the far court. Number 3 doubles, Alex Glaze and Andrew Ingram trying to put away Cable Weaver and Dalton Sauer. Tornadoes currently with a 7-4 lead in number 3 doubles. And in number 3 doubles of the women's competition, still going on as well, Kenzie Bowman and Eleanor Flannery with a 6-3 lead over Emily Allen and Olive Anderson of Johnson. Tornadoes men with a 2-0 lead in doubles play. 8-0 win in number 1 doubles, Tom Mitching and Tim Hanks. An 8-2 win in number 2 doubles, Tyler Frazee and Nathan Boppel. And women's with a 2-0 lead for Brevard as well. An 8-0 win in number 1 doubles for Samantha Seppi and Darden King. And an 8-5 win in number 2 doubles, Jen Cox and Margaret Correll. So both men's and women's doubles, number 3 doubles play still happening now, as Glaze and Ingram with the advantage for the Tornadoes and trying to put away this last match. Meanwhile, the singles competition will start as soon as doubles play is concluded. Men's number 1 singles, Tom Mitching, number 2, Tim Hanks, number 3, Tyler Frazee, number 4, Nate Boppel, number 5, Ingram, and number 6, Glaze on the men's side. And they're all gathered around that number 3 doubles match, hoping to get started momentarily. So the Johnson University Royals number 3 doubles team has battled back with 2 straight games. It's now 7-6 over a number 3 doubles as the crowd gathers around Alex Glaze and Andrew Ingram trying to bring home this doubles win. But the team of Cable Weaver and Dawn Sauer have battled back. It's 7-6 in number 3 doubles. Tornadoes with the advantage. So some score updates for you. Tornadoes take a 3-0 advantage in men's competition as Glaze and Ingram win 8-6 in number 3 doubles. Tornadoes sweep the doubles side of this competition 8-0 in number 1 doubles, Mitching and Hanks, 8-2 in number 2 doubles, Frazee and Boppel, and 8-6 in number 3 doubles, Glaze and Ingram. Women's number 3 doubles has wrapped up as well, an 8-3 win for Kenzie Bowman and Eleanor Flannery. So the Tornadoes with a 3-0 lead through doubles play wins by Samantha Seppi and Darden King, 8-0 in number 1 doubles, Jen Cox and Margaret Carell, 8-5 in number 2 doubles, and Kenzie Bowman and Eleanor Flannery, 8-3 in number 3 doubles. So singles play getting started momentarily, and the Tornadoes off to a great start in both men's and women's tennis, up 3-0 on both sides. as we're getting underway with singles play now on this near court. Tim Hanks, number 2 singles. And just beyond him, Tom Mitching, number 1 singles. Number 3 singles on the far court is Tyler Frazee. And behind us here, we have number 5 singles Andrew Ingram and Alex Glaze in action. And on court number 4, Nate Boppel in number 4 singles. So underway here in singles play, Tornadoes with a 3-0 lead in both men's and women's team play, sweeping through their competition. So warm-ups are complete and number 5 men's singles underway as Andrew Ingram starting the match off with the serve. Ingram's facing off against Riley Reinhard, also known as Haas by his Johnson University teammates. And the court just beyond Ingram and Haas is number 6 singles Alex Glaze and Cable Weaver. As singles plays underway, Tornadoes with a 3-0 lead after doubles competition in the team scorebook. Hang with us. Singles just getting underway. Brevard versus Johnson. some score updates from women's singles. Samantha Seppi made very quick work of her opponent in number 1 singles with a 6-0 first set win. So Seppi wins the first set 6-0 in number 1 singles. Darden King with a 2-0 lead in number 2 singles. Jen Cox with a 1-0 lead in number 3 singles. And Corell and Flannery in number 4 and 5 singles respectively, each with 1-0 leads early on here, women's singles. Meanwhile, you are watching Tim Hanks versus Michael Rodenbaugh of Johnson University. Hanks with an early 3-0 lead. And Mitching also in control in number 1 singles just beyond him. Some more score updates for you on the women's side. Samantha Seppi, as we mentioned, rolled through her first set 6-0. Darden King also won her first set in number 2 singles. Jen Cox with a 3-0 lead in number 3 singles. Here in number 5 men's singles, 2-1 in the opening set. As Andrew Ingram leads Riley Reinhard 2-1 in the opening set, and Johnson with a 4-1 lead in number 6 singles. Cable Weaver ahead on Alex Glaze. Tom Mitching and Tim Hanks both in control of their men's singles matches. Alex Glaze trailing 5-2 in number 6 singles. Andrew Ingram up 2-1 in number 5 singles. So the first final has come in on the women's side. Samantha Seppi winning in number 1 singles. So the Tornadoes now with a 4-0 lead for the match. Number 2 singles on the women's side. Darden King won the first set and she leads the second set 3-0. Jen Cox with a 3-2 lead in number 3 singles. Number 4 singles, Margaret Correll with a 4-1 lead. Meanwhile, Mitching and Hanks continue to be well in control of their matches. And in number 5 singles for the men's, Andrew Ingram trails Riley Reinhardt, also known as Haas Reinhardt. 3-2 Reinhardt with the lead. And Johnson with a 1-0 advantage in number 6 singles, Cable Weaver versus Alex Glaze. Final from number 3 singles, Tyler Frazee defeats Stephen Damon in number 3 singles 6-0, 6-0. So Tornadoes up 4-0 on the men's side, just as they are on the women's side. Score update from women's number 5 singles. Eleanor Flannery with a 5-2 lead over Iris Loveday. Number 5 women's singles. As a team, the Tornadoes are up 4-0 in both men's and women's competition. Thanks for joining us on this Tuesday afternoon from Brevard College, the McCoy Tennis Complex. watching Tim Hanks in his match, number 2 singles. Hanks with a 1-0 lead in sets, leading 3-0 in set number 2. Tornadoes on the men's side in control, 4-0 after sweeping through doubles play, and then a 6-0, 6-0 win by Tyler Frazee in number 3 singles. Some more score updates for you. Tom Mitching has won in number 1 singles for the Tornadoes. So Tornadoes now with a 5-0 advantage. And in turn have clinched the match on the men's side. So nice job by the Tornadoes and Mitching to clinch the match. Wins in number 1 singles by Tom Mitching and number 3 singles by Tyler Frazee. And Tornadoes swept through the doubles side of the competition. Some women's updates from singles play. We mentioned Samantha Seppi, 6-0-6-0, winning in number 1 singles. Darden King also with a win in number 2 singles, which clinches the match 5-0, the lead for the Tornadoes. A close match going on in number 3 singles. Jen Cox lost the first set, but leads the second set 3-2. Margaret Correll has a 1-0 lead in sets in number 4 singles, and Eleanor Flannery with a 1-0 lead in sets in number 5 singles. Kenzie Bauman, number 6 singles, just getting underway. So Tornadoes have clinched team victories for both men's and women's competition here at the McCoy Tennis Complex as we continue to bring action from men's number 2 singles. So the Tornadoes now lead 6-0 as a team as Tim Hanks wins number 2 singles 6-1, 6-0. So singles wins by Mitching, Hanks, and Frazee. 1, 2, 3 singles, and Tornadoes clinch the win this afternoon over Johnson. Hope to bring you some interviews coming up shortly. Stick with us here from the McCoy Tennis Complex. Tornadoes up 6-0 in men's play, and have also clinched the women's competition. Singles wins by Samantha Seppi and Darden King on the women's side. Singles wins by Tom Mitching, Tim Hanks, and Tyler Frazee on the men's side. Nathan Boppel in a battle in number 4 singles, as is number 5 singles Andrew Ingram. That's on the near court they are watching now. And then just beyond Ingram, number 6 singles Alex Glaze. Tornadoes will be back in action this weekend. Hope you can come on out here to the McCoy Tennis Complex. Men's tennis at 11:30 a.m. in a USA South Conference matchup against Huntington. And women's tennis will be in action as well. women's team will be taking on Agnes Scott, also a USA South matchup. 11:30 a.m. here at McCoy Tennis Complex. You can see both men's and women's tennis in action. So by clinching today's match, the women's tennis team has won 6 straight matches as a team. A perfect 6-0 in the month of March. And on the men's side, Tom Mitching has extended his personal winning streak in singles competition. "19 straight singles wins for Tom Mitching." Hope to hear from Tom and Tim, the 2 seniors from men's tennis, before long. Stick with us. We'll have some interviews for us before we know it. Men's with a 6-0 advantage. Okay, right on cue, joined by Tom Mitching.
How you doing?
Great to have you on the broadcast again, Tom. A 8-0 win in doubles with your doubles partner, Tim Hanks, and then a 6-0, 6-2 win in number 1 singles. You have extended your singles match winning streak to 19 straight matches. A phenomenal streak. Congratulations on that.
Thank you, yeah.
Is that something that you think about, that you had that streak going, or is that you leave that up to the folks on the website who write the stories and that kind of thing?
I mean, I would lie if I tell you, hey, I'm not thinking about it. But I think I should, or what I do is try to push it away more, because we always say your biggest triumph is your worst enemy. So it can overload you with confidence, and then you become not as prepared as you should be, and then it gets into your game, and you might lose matches you shouldn't lose. So I try to push it away actually, and stay match by match, and each match is different, a different day. Like today it's super windy, it's different than it's super sunny and warm and hot. So I go from day to day and match to match and try not to think about my streak.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And you mentioned the wind today. You know, I'd imagine playing here in the mountains of North Carolina, from any given day, the conditions can be very different in terms of the weather, and sometimes even over the course of the match. Like today, I realized the wind picked up at times, and it got colder as the match wore on. How have you adjusted to all the different weather conditions?
Yeah, it's always a challenge actually to play here. It can be sunny, and 10 minutes later it could rain. So the worst we had, it actually snowed. That was last year. Doubles I played in t-shirt and shorts, and singles I just picked up my long pants. I know it's not blue for tornadoes, but at least I'm warm.
Yes.
So that's more important for me. I'm a little selfish there. It's I think over the years you gather enough experience to deal with those challenges. I also told my opponent, because he was quite frustrated, and it's difficult to play here, and especially when you're a freshman or a sophomore, it's not always easy. You don't know all the circumstances which could happen, but after 4 years you get enough experience, and you can deal with all sorts of challenges.
Now, I do also want to congratulate you. This week you were named USA South Conference Men's Tennis Athlete of the Week. Congratulations on that.
Thank you.
Also, Tyler Frazee won
Yes.
Men's Tennis Rookie of the Week for the 2nd straight week, but it was great to see the Tornadoes sweep those awards. Now, you won it for a week where you went perfect against LaGrange and Johnson C. Smith, winning both singles and doubles with your teammate Tim Hanks. Can you catch folks up a little bit who haven't heard from us since we saw you last on the LaGrange and the Johnson C. Smith matches?
Mm-hmm. Lagrange, actually, we had perfect conditions. It was warm, no wind. We had a huge fight there, especially in doubles. So Tim and me, we were 7-2 down, and we came back and won in the tiebreaker. I don't know how we did it, but we managed to pull it off. That was amazing, and that gave us enough confidence for the singles.
Now, can we back up a second? So down 7-2,
Yeah.
and you fight all the way back to the tiebreaker. Did you fight off some potential match points even by the other team?
Yes, actually, we faced 2 match points. So they were on serve 40-15, and we both saved those match points. And then after that, the momentum just shifted, and for some reason we got to 7-all, and then we had another layer of energy in us, and then in the tiebreaker we pulled it off 7-5.
Outstanding. And did that give you some momentum heading into singles competition that day to have that kind of feel good win like that?
For sure, but I think it's more in the heads of our opponents because they were on serve, had 2 match points. They were almost actually shaking our hands already, and that can crack your mindset a little bit and can crack you up for singles. So you lose lots of confidence, and we gain confidence. So I think we got into their heads for sure. That's why maybe we had, let's say, not easy singles, but easier singles matches.
And then after the LaGrange match, you head to Johnson C. Smith, which is in Charlotte.
Exactly.
How did that day go for you?
That day was actually super challenging. The courts were different, super fast. We didn't play at their school. It was a facility for the public, and we just rented the courts. So I asked my opponent if they practiced there, so they did not. So it was new for them as well, so it was more adapted quicker at that day. And we managed to pull some good wins off.
Well, a big part of your overall success, of course, is your doubles partner, Tim Hanks. And, you guys have a special connection, both being from Germany and both being seniors and so forth. Can you talk a little bit about Tim and just what makes him such a great doubles partner for you?
I think the connection we have is so good because we are friends on the court, off the court. And it's not always something you can put in words. You almost read his minds. You know where he's going at the net, and you just cover his side. Stuff like that, where you can't explain what's going on. You just actually do it. And he's a great fighter. So without him, I wouldn't have won the doubles match. So he's not only a big part of my doubles career, he's a big part of the entire team for Brevard Tennis.
Yeah, outstanding. Would like you to also speak about this phenomenal rookie you all have, Tyler Frazee, who won back-to-back Rookie of the Week awards for the USA South. Tyler made incredibly quick work of his opponent today, 6-0, 6-0, and just continues to seem to strengthen his game, every time out here. Can you talk even further about Tyler and what makes him special?
He's just super eager. He's ambitious, and you can tell that on the court. So before he actually came to Brevard, he played so many matches, so he has probably the same experience than I do. And that helps him a lot, so he can pull off dogfights for him, and he had many of those this season so far, where he won 10-8 in the third setter, for example, in the match tiebreak. And he shows it on the practice court as well. So if you play him, you know you're going to have a tough day here today at practice, and you need to play your best in order to win.
Now, before I let you go, we had some fun with this last time around, and hopefully there's some viewers checking in from Germany. Would like you to spend a little time speaking in your native language and letting those folks know that you're thinking of them, and maybe giving them an update on how today went. But please, the floor is yours.
Okay.
In German, if you like.
Ja, hallo an alle, die zuschauen. Ich hoffe, euch geht's gut. Mir geht's auch super. Bisschen kalt heute, aber gut soweit. Für alle, die zuschauen, will es nicht sagen, dass ihr kein Leben habt, aber schön, dass ihr zuschaut. Bedeutet viel für mich, und an alle, die das sehen, ein Herz natürlich an euch, und danke für alles.
Very nice. Now, will you get a chance to get back to Germany anytime soon? Have you made some plans to get back home?
Yes, my plans are actually going home after graduation. Um, Probably working in a tennis camp in Germany. That's already lined up.
Great.
Let's say 95%. So pretty certain, and I do it. I've done it for 8 years so far, so I know everybody. They know me, so it's easy and it's super awesome there. I want to do a little vacation with my family in Germany, going probably to the Alps. I just love it there. It's where I'm from. Everybody knows how going home is just different, and especially if you've been abroad for 4 years, it's always something special to go home and seeing family, seeing friends. They all want to know what happened in my life. I want to know what happened in their life.
Now you mentioned the Alps, and you're doing a lot of your studies in the Wilderness Leadership Program. Are there some things that you're learning here at Brevard College that you might be able to apply to a trip to the Alps back home?
To be honest, in the Alps I go more skiing, and it's less common here. I would say the Alps are super famous for skiing, and less rock climbing and all that. I'm not saying it's not there. It's there for sure. But they're more known, or it's more popular for skiing, so I can definitely all the skills I gained here apply in the Alps. It's just a matter of what you do,
Well, Tom, it's been great to have you on the broadcast again. Congrats on today. Congrats on your 19-match win streak and on winning USA South Rookie of the Week. And thanks again for being such a great student athlete and a mentor to the younger players. Congrats on your upcoming graduation and your future plans, and we'll keep on following you throughout this tennis season.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Thanks
Tom.
for having me. Appreciate it.
All right, that was Tom Mitching coming off another win in singles, 19 matches, his singles win streak. And an effective day for Tom, 6-0, 6-2 win on the singles side, and an 8-2 win with his teammate Tim Hanks in doubles. right, happy to be joined now by head coach Evan Schreiner, men's and women's tennis head coach. Coach, thanks for joining the program.
Thank you for having me.
Well, what seemed like to me a business-like win. Both teams have clinched today's team competitions over Johnson of Tennessee. Coach, overall thoughts as far as how the teams performed today?
Thought we played great. You know, the wind picked up a little bit. It's not ideal conditions with it being a little cloudy and a little cold and all that. But, you know, I told our players in our huddle before we went off that, you know, that nothing's given to you. And this was a match that I was actually a little worried about. You know, Johnson played some of similar teams pretty close. And then on our women's side, we were without our number 2, Kelsey Kushner. She's away for a criminal justice thing in Washington, D.C., so she wasn't able to be here. So, you know, a couple factors like that. It was, you know, a little nervous going in, but, you know, our players came out, had a lot of momentum after doubles, winning 3-0 and for both of them, and then going forward with singles and taking care of business throughout most of them.
Yeah, you know, the men's side clinched very early on, and after that 3-0 lead in doubles, Tyler Frazee, just remarkable how quickly he blazed through his match in number 3 singles.
Yeah.
Now, Tyler's won the USA South Rookie of the Week in back-to-back weeks.
Yep.
Can you talk even more about Tyler and just his development as a player and the quality of tennis he's playing right now?
Yeah, I'm incredibly proud of Tyler, and just going back to his first semester here. You know, somebody who's you know, first time in college and all that stuff. You know, it was you know, may have been a little tricky for him, but it's been really cool to see him develop, not as just a player, but as a person, and you know, really take hold of you know, all the stuff that we're talking about. Really buying into my mantra of, you know, great energy and positive energy. And you know, he's such a beacon of a great person to have on our team in so many ways. And then yeah, just coming in and taking care of business and at number 3 singles. Great to see him putting in some things that we've been working on, some quick pressure points. He did a lot of serve and volley there, so that's what kind of why his match went a little bit quicker, is because serve and volley points don't tend to last as long as these knockdown, drag out, you know, baseline rallies. So it was cool to see him working on something new and you know, really helping develop his doubles game and his quick pressure game for matches coming up.
Now, while Tyler has won the USA South Rookie of the Week in back-to-back weeks, this past week, Tom Mitching, your senior number 1 singles player, number 1 doubles player with his teammate Tim Hanks, he won USA South Player of the Week for men's tennis. So the men's tennis side sweeps the USA South Conference awards, which was great. But Tom, meanwhile, you know, 19 straight match wins in singles play. We talked about him a bunch last time you were on the show, Coach. But if you can talk even further about Tom and just what kind of rock he is for your program.
Yeah, he's you know, he's somebody, and you know, I don't like to go and say that, hey, you know, I can guarantee a win from him and all that, but he's I almost can, but he's just in so many ways, just as a student, he's been on the, you know, Dean's List ITA Scholar Athlete ever since he's been here, and comes in every day for practice with great energy, looking to make everybody around him better, and then comes on the court and just does what he needs to do. He's just a very, very frustrating player to play against. Just gets a lot of balls back and is really a very, very steady person, and that can be something that's very, very frustrating to play against, especially a day like today where it's cold and the, you know, ball's not bouncing as much. You know, it's tougher to move around sometimes. You know, that's the type of environment that he likes, and just really frustrates people. He's just an incredible athlete, and yeah, he's him and Tim just mesh very well in doubles, and you know, have a really good feel and really good chemistry, and but yeah, you know, I mean, Tom and Tim as well. You know, we know two guys that I'm definitely going to miss next year in more ways than one. You know, they're part of my first wave of recruits and first wave of signees when I took over, and you know, it's just it's a great feeling to have that you know, these guys have done so well, and they've been such a good ambassador for the school. So it's great to see them, you know, come and you know, really make an impact in school, and really make an impact on the team, and you know, hopefully they can keep it going for a few more matches.
Now, on the women's side, as a team, the women have won 6 straight matches. They're a perfect 6-0 here in the month of March. Can you talk about them as a unit and just how they continue to get W after W?
Yeah, it's great, and I was I'm not gonna say I was worried about today, but it was I was a little uneasy. It just the Johnson women had a tough match against Maryville, and we eked out a win against them, and then you take out our number 2 player, which mixes up the doubles lineups, and it moves a lot of people up a spot. You just never know. You just never know. Who's going to come and play and who's going to really be ready for that. And we did a lot of doubles preparation last night at the Racket Club with the new doubles pairing. So this wasn't anything new that we were really having to deal with, but it was something that was newish, and it's something that sometimes takes a little bit of getting used to when you're used to somebody's play and then you're switching partners and playing with somebody else with a different game style. So I came out, and then the first thing I said is just no, this match is not given to you. It's not given to you. Everybody has to go out and earn the match, and it was a great overall team win. I think everybody got a win today. So we swept doubles, and majority of our players won in singles. So it was a good overall win. But it was definitely a battle too.
In the doubles team in specific, that Jen Cox and Margaret Carell in number 2 doubles, and Samantha Seppi and Darden King in number 1 doubles. Kenzie Bowman and Eleanor Flannery played number 3 doubles. Those two are used to playing with each other, but some adjustments otherwise.
Yeah. So they've played 3 doubles a little bit, and then going back to last year, Margaret and Jen played a little bit as well. So they know each other, and it's not. I mean, it's not like we don't practice it in practice. We do tend to keep with the doubles teams that we're going to play with in matches, but we'll mix things up a little bit just for things like this when we have somebody that's going to be out for a school thing or something like that. And it's something that you got to prepare for, but again, at the same time, it's not anything that's just completely just mind-blowingly going to just throw us for a loop.
Now, next up for the Tornadoes, 2 matches on Saturday, 2 different opponents. The men's team will take on Huntington at 11:30 a.m. Also at 11:30 a.m., women's versus Agnes Scott. Back to USA South Conference play on Saturday. What's going to be the priority between now and Saturday, getting the Tornadoes prepared for those matches?
Yeah, so we're going to have the same lineup for Agnes Scott for our women. So we'll just most likely we'll probably keep the same doubles lineup. So we'll just probably keep practicing that and just having our players mesh well and get in tune with their doubles partners. And then a few other things. Huntington's going to be a tough team. We split with them last year. We won once and lost once. So it's definitely going to be a battle. And it's just getting all of our guys prepared, getting all of our guys ready, and it's going to be a knockdown, drag-out match like a lot of ours have been, and we just got to make sure we're all ready, and so we'll have a few things to work on, and a few things to test and try out, but I think we're feeling pretty good though for it.
Now, Coach, before I let you go, I do want to let you comment also on your assistant coach, Jimmy Wynn, who I can tell is very involved. He's been spending a lot of time coaching up Andrew Ingram today in number 5 singles. Can you talk about Coach Wynn and how important he is to your program?
Yeah. So Jimmy, I met Jimmy when I first took this job back in 2015, and he came into my office one day, just unannounced, and just sat down, and we just started chatting, and then my history with Clemson tennis, and he knows a lot of the people that I know, and he played tennis at Furman and played on the Pro Tour, and I think we ended up talking for like 2-3 hours, which I thought was a lot at that time, until I actually got to know Jimmy and that he can talk a lot. And so that's the one thing that our guys like to, and our ladies like to joke about is, he can definitely talk your ear off.
The gift of gab.
Yeah, the gift of gab. But in all seriousness, just being the only head coach here without an assistant, sometimes it can be tough to coach 2 teams at once and practices and matches. So it's definitely great to have somebody else who's willing to come out and willing to work with our team and all that, and he's got such good knowledge. I mean, he played for 4 years at Furman under Paul Scarpa, who is who is a name that all of our players know now from practices and everything, because he mentions him a lot. But then he also played on the Pro Tour. If you look at our Instagram page, there's actually a picture of him walking on court about to play Arthur Ashe.
Wow.
So that's kind of a neat thing. Yeah. So he's definitely has a lot of knowledge, and he's definitely a great person to have on the sidelines, coaching us up. And he's just been an incredibly helpful and supportive person for our team ever since I've been here. And I definitely I thank him all the time, but still I can't thank him enough for all the help that he gives us, and the knowledge that he gives our players, and the time that he spends coaching our players several times a week on a volunteer basis. And so it's great to have somebody like that in your corner who's willing to help out and willing to come to our matches and stuff and help us out. And yeah, it's very special, and he's definitely a very special person for me.
Yeah, sounds like a great fit, for your squad as well as for Brevard College.
Yeah.
So appreciate those words, Coach. Well, Coach, hope everyone can come out and check out the action this weekend. McCoy Tennis Complex, 11:30 a.m. Men versus Huntington, 11:30 a.m. on Saturday. Women versus Agnes Scott. It'll be a great day of tennis back here at the McCoy Tennis Complex. Final thoughts before I let you go today?
I think that's it. It'll be great to know we got a win as a team for both men and women. It's always nice to have the daily double, and we're just going to coach up Andrew here in the last little bit, and Kenzie, and hopefully we can add a couple more W's to that win column, and before we call it a day.
Well, one thing we will know for sure for the next 3-4 days, the W flag will continue to fly.
W flag still flies. Yep, W flag still flies.
Well, Coach, congratulations on today's victories. We'll see you Saturday out here at McCoy Tennis Complex, and thanks for joining the broadcast.
No problem. Thanks for having me.
All right, thanks, Coach. Head coach Evan Schreiner, as both the men's and women's team have clinched, and the W flag will continue to fly here at McCoy Tennis Complex. So Brevard College wins in both men's and women's tennis over Johnson. Both men's and women's sweeping through doubles play. Number 1 doubles team in men's, Tom Mitching and Tim Hanks. Number 2 doubles, Tyler Frazee and Nathan Boppel. Number 3 doubles, Alex Glaze and Andrew Ingram. On the women's side, sweep through doubles play as well. Number 1 doubles, Samantha Seppi and Darden King win. Jen Cox and Margaret Correll, number 2 doubles, and Kenzie Bowman and Eleanor Flannery, number 3 doubles. And then Mitching, Hanks, and Frazee roll through number 1, 2, and 3 singles on the men's side to clinch the men's win. And then on the women's side, Seppi and King both winning to clinch the match for the women. So victorious day for Brevard College tennis on both men's and women's. Want to thank everyone for tuning in, and also thank our guests for joining us this afternoon. Hope to see you here on Saturday, as both men's and women's tennis will be in action at 11:30 a.m. at the McCoy Tennis Complex. Thanks for tuning in. Go Tornadoes.